sorry, you're all alone. How rude of us all.
No, it wasn't that. I need to talk to you.
Yes, Helen.
This may come as quite a shock to you, but I can't wait for a better opportunity to tell you. I have to tell you now.
Yes, Helen. What is it?
David and I are in love with each other.
Yes, I knew that.
Oh, that makes it easier then. How do you know? Has David told you?
No, but I've known that David has been in love with you for a little time now.
Since the time I stopped him drinking.
Yes, I think that was when I first knew. Why are you telling me now?
Because we want to get married, Joan.
I see.
That means you'll have to divorce him.
Yes, yes, of course.
Sorry, Joan. It's terribly hard for me to have to tell you like this.
Why didn't David tell me?
He wanted to. I thought it was easier for me.
It would be harder for him, I suppose.
I'm sorry. I do hope you don't feel all this too badly.
My dear Helen, only this afternoon I was having a good laugh with David about this very situation.
So you did discuss me with him?
Well, it's a joke, that was all. When you know something is going to happen, it makes it seem further off to joke about it.
I'm sorry. I see you do feel this.
One gets used to things after 15 years.
I know, but it makes it easier you're not being in love with David. Doesn't it?
Much easier.
Yes. He told me about your marriage.
Makes a good story, doesn't it? It's one of his best.
He only told me that you weren't in love with each other when you got married.
He didn't tell you about the wedding and about how the police raided us afterwards and they joined us and we made them drink our health, and or about how he woke up the next day and he said, "No, darling, I think I've forgotten something. Isn't today the day that we get married?" Or about how... It's a lovely story, but it goes on forever. It's a bit exaggerated after 15 years, but it's still very funny.
Good, Joan.
Helen, would you mind awfully if we talk about this whole business some other time?
Yes, of course.
I mean, I'm sure there are lots of boring details to sort out about the divorce and so on.
We can get our lawyers to do that.
Yes, yes, we can.
Thank you, Joan, for taking this so well.
Have I taken it well? I didn't know.
You've taken it marvellously. I want you to know that all this isn't going to make any difference. I mean, I know David is very fond of you, and he would hate it if he weren't going to see you again or anything.
That's very kind of you.
Well, I must go. I do hope I haven't been too brutal about this. I just couldn't wait for a better opportunity to tell you, and I had to tell you now.
You've been very sympathetic is the word, I think. Goodbye. Goodbye, Helen. You're coming to this god-awful party, aren't you? I would never forgive you if you didn't.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Liar. Oh, just turn this off. You've only 6. Just turn it hard. Try and surprise it if you know what I mean. That's it. So,
Goodbye, Joan. And thank you.
Well, I suppose she's told you. I'm terribly sorry, Joe. You damn fool. Why didn't you tell her you were in love with him?
It wouldn't make any difference.
It might have done. She doesn't know.
What's the use if he loves her?
I don't believe he does, really.
Yes, he does.
Well, he's quite mad.
He knows exactly what he's doing. He doesn't need me anymore now. I've grown older.
You should have told him you were in love with him. That's all he wants, really. Someone to be in love with him.
Not me. He doesn't want me to be in love with him. I'd have bored him to death if I'd let him see it. I never had.
It's terrible how two people can misunderstand each other as much as you and David have over the last 15 years.
Was I wrong, John? Was I wrong not to let him see it?
It was all he wanted.
Well, it's too late now.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. Oh, John. I do need him. So much. So much more than Helen.
You'll forget him.
That's 9 altogether. It's got to do. Where do you want them, in here or in the dining room?
In the dining room.
Come on, John, bring those in.
Just a slave around this house. That's all I am.
David, some idiot's thrown your book in the wastepaper basket.
Oh, thanks. As a matter of fact, I'm scrapping the whole thing and starting again.
Are you sure? I think it's very good. You really are going to start again. Well, don't throw it away. Keep it as a sentimental memory, if nothing else. It might not be of much value now, but it might be of interest when you're an old and successful man. I'm going to see how Williams is getting on. He's got everything all balled up in the dining room. Pour me a gin and tonic, will you please, darling, and don't drown it. I want to taste the gin.
Yes, I know. She probably is. And you always are, aren't you, Moya, darling?
David, it's a happening party, and Jen's looking nothing but you are not anyhow.
Don't try to get out of it, Moira.
All right, tell him. I'm not ashamed of it.
She said she thought the Marx Brothers were torture.
All that flying to Australia and back has evidently turned her brain.
David, have I told you? I'm flying over too, next week.
Yes, I read all about it in the papers.
Yeah, I suppose you think that Mickey Mouse is better than Donald Duck.
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact.
Oh my God!
Look, there's Doris. I must get better if it's true about how that tax this man.
Very old times, I'm afraid.
Oh dear! I guess that's the most horrible